So a lot of people don't know that I make music. So I want to like introduce people to my music catalog, a song at a time, and give them an understanding to how and why I make music. So for me, first and foremost, everything that I engineer as a cultural engineer is towards the goal of intergenerational wellness. Everything with my brand, everything with my fashion, my paintings, my poetry, my books, my documentary film, anything that I'm connected to as a cultural engineer has to be towards the outcome of intergenerational wellness. So my music that I make is towards intergenerational wellness, and I want to start to introduce you all to my music one song at a time in my catalog, because I have numerous singles and albums, and so I'm working on a new album now. So today I just want to talk about this song. It's called Blockchaingang, and like just really this goes into like my purpose of why I make music. This track Blockchaingang was from my first album, Ultra Crepidarian, a word that I randomly learned about and named my first album after. It was produced by Jake the Kid and at Bamboo Studios, Silver Spring, Maryland. This was in 2022 when we released this album. And at that time I was with, shout out to Barbara Jones, I was with Outshine Talent with management. And Barbara really like encouraged me to put the album out because I just wanted to release all the music on a blockchain. I didn't even want to put the music out on DSPs and streaming. And Barbara was like, no, you got so much talent. You're introducing the world to your talent. So like, just put it out so that people can know that you make music, because the blockchain is developing, but the majority of people are not connected to like accessing music on a blockchain and just like not even aware of the blockchain and what it does. And so for me, now, like 4 years later, having my Artonomics initiative, teaching people how to use AI blockchain technology to protect, scale, and estate plan and intellectual property, whether it's copyrights, trademarks, patents in the 21st century. I think it's important that I go to each one of my books, each one of my songs and albums, and to illustrate to people how everything that I'm doing creatively is towards engineering intergenerational wellness. So this song, Blockchaingang, is on the album Ultra Crepidarian. I'll put the link to the song in my story. This song, Blockchaingang, is really about my attempt to like take the hip hop street culture and to introduce it to the blockchain. And like in the song, I like mentioned two of my art collectors who started collecting my art when they was 17, Alexander and Enzo. And I met them in Boston. And I remember they started their hedge fund when they were 18. And they started collecting my art while they still was 17. And I remember when I met them, I was just so impressed by their business acumen and their maturity that I told them, I said, like, I want to use you two as prototypes to replicate with young African-American, Hispanic men, boys in my community back in DC, and then start in DC and take it throughout the world. And so this song Blockchaingang, it goes into like, Alexander and Enzo in Boston up in the benzo, shaping the private placement or finessing the financial statement. When that crypto, flip mode, my net worth going schizo, the dragons out the shell, these eggshells is better tiptoe. Something like that. So, but the whole thing is like taking my words, taking this institution, this infrastructure that's being developed with the blockchain and cryptocurrency, and like introducing people from my community to blockchain technology, and as creatives and cultural engineers, like how we have the opportunity to protect, scale, and estate plan our intellectual property, our music catalogs, our fashion, our publishing, our film, our photography. We have an opportunity with the blockchain and tokenization of real world assets now to be able to like secure ownership in our creativity for generations. So like every time someone like resells a song or a painting or a drawing or picture, that our estate in perpetuity, meaning forever, gets a percentage off of that resale. Versus like in my next talk, where I'm gonna talk about like my problem with Basquiat. Not with Basquiat as a person, but my problem with like how the art world has attached this tremendous amount of financial value to Basquiat's work, but the majority of that didn't go to Basquiat in his lifetime, and it doesn't go to his estate all the time with these paintings that's auctioned off for hundreds of millions of dollars. And with this song Blockchaingang, it's like giving us, through music, an education to teach us that let's see our wealth in our lifetime, and let's use this blockchain technology to make sure that the equity in our creativity stays in our state, meaning stays within our family and an initiative that we believe in, and that is funded from our music, our fashion, our art, our photography, our film, our documentaries, our performances, our dances, anything creatively that we make patent, trademark, copyright wise, that this stays in our bloodline forever. So that every time someone who may have bought a painting or engaged with the music through the blockchain, and they decide to resell it or auction it off, that our family get a percentage of that, right? And so this is what the song Blockchaingang is about. It's like taking that street mentality, gang culture, and evolving it from a criminal culture to not a corporate, but to an intergenerational culture, to where as though now people on a block, right, understand what the blockchain is and how we operate as gangs in criminal activity. We operate now as, decentralized autonomous organizations in the blockchain AI tech world to develop economics, politics, social status in our communities through our creativity, and to be able to do it intergenerationally, so that once we die, the initiative doesn't die in the grave with us, but the creativity stands, the institution stands, and the intergenerational wellness stands, so that we can be socially, economically, politically sound, viable, growing, and sufficient through the creative assets that's left behind in perpetuity, meaning forever. So check out the song Blockchaingang. This is my first post about my music. I do not make music just to entertain, though I wanted to be entertaining, but everything that I do, from the books, the poetry, social media, everything is educational based towards intergenerational wellness, more than intergenerational wealth.